Hello everyone, this is Mansi from Mansi Makes, and today I am using Grafix Art Plastics, opaque white craft plastic, crystal clear craft plastic, double tack mounting film, some alcohol inks and gold mixative, and a variety of other tools to create reversible mixed media bookmarks. So first you just peel off the protective film off of the crystal clear craft plastic, and then just use some alcohol ink drops and swipe them with either a paper napkin or some foam brushes to create a background. And I have just cut this piece of clear craft plastic into a 6x12 size, and I'm just dropping some alcohol inks and some gold mixative in different colors all across that background that I created to create a sense of floral blooms. And you can get as creative as you want. This can be a very short process or a long process depending on how much design elements you want in there. And then I'm just using a fine tip micro-applicator to create swirls while the alcohol inks are still wet. And this kind of gives the illusion of roses when the clear craft plastic film is turned around. So on the reverse side of it, it looks like flowers. And I'm just also adding a bit of interest with a gold pen, so just adding some lines in some parts of this piece and not all over, just to get a different look for some of this. So now that I have the 6x12 size, what I'm doing is marking off 2-inch blocks so that I can cut off 2-inch by 6-inch sized bookmarks, so to speak, from the clear craft plastic. And it's very easy to cut the clear craft plastic with a craft knife and a ruler. So once I have my 6 pieces, I do the same thing with the opaque white craft plastic, but this time I'm cutting only 3 pieces. And that's because I'll be using both sides of this opaque white craft plastic for my bookmarks. And what I'm doing now is I took some script stamps, so it could be anything really. You could even just write with a black pen or a black marker on the opaque white craft plastic. But I had some script stamps, so I just put some archival ink and I'm just stamping them on. And once I stamped them on all the front sides, I just reversed the opaque white craft plastic and I'm stamping on the reverse side now. Now I took some double tack mounting tape and I cut 6 strips of that, same size, 2 inches by 6 inches. And I peeled off the protective layer from one side and I am adhering my crystal clear plastic on one side of that double tack mounting tape. Once I did that, I peeled off the other side of it and then adhered that to my opaque white craft plastic. So instantly I had that beautiful scripted background against the roses in the front. Now the one thing to make sure is that you are sticking the side that you painted on down onto your double tack mounting tape. You're not leaving that side exposed, because otherwise the alcohol inks will need to be sealed and or they'll rub off on the book. So you want to make sure the side you painted on is the one that you're sticking on the double tack mounting tape. And I just cut a little design on this side because I wanted a bit of that opaque white craft plastic to be exposed on the other side. Then I just have some words or affirmations that I typed up and print out on my computer. And I'm just using those on that same double tack mounting tape, stuck it on and adhered that to the front and the back of the bookmark. And there was still a bit of stickiness from the residue of that double tack mounting tape, so I used that to my advantage by using Gilding Flakes to add a decorative accent around the words. And then I just trimmed the corners of the bookmark, gave them some rounded edges so that they're not sharp, used a hole punch to put a hole in the middle, and then just attached a tassel. And it really is that simple to create bookmarks with crystal clear craft plastic and with your white, opaque white craft plastic films from Grafix, along with the double tack mounting tape. They look like they're printed and laminated, but in fact they're not, and you can see how easy they are to make. So I hope you enjoy this project and you will try this process out yourself. Thank you so much for watching.